All right, shalom, Israel. It's Brother Kazak Magun. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. That's Yahweh, who the world inwardly calls God, in the name of the Son, Yahushua, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. Right? I'm coming at y'all with another lesson. Salakia. Coming at y'all with another lesson. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Today's lesson is going to be on the so-called UFOs. What the world calls UFOs, we call them IFOs. We call them because they are not unidentified flying objects, but we perfectly identify them in the scriptures as the chariots, right? Sometimes you can see them being spoke about in the scriptures as clouds, right? Sometimes you could see them, like I said, the chariots. You got the clouds. You got the wheels, right? You got the whirlwinds, right? These are all these when the scriptures are being referred to in the scriptures, those are the basically the code names that they go under when it comes to the Bible, right? But we know that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that they're talking about the so-called UFOs, right? I'm gonna share my screen real quick. To go to the article. We're gonna be getting into this article from End Times Headlines, right? Share my screen, right? This is End Times Headlines, right? This is a whistleblower news media online media broadcasting station or whatever you want to call it, right? But they basically just give you that off mainstream media, the news, that doesn't usually get broadcasted on, mainstream media, right? Like this thing gonna be on CNN and Fox News and all that, right? These are whistleblowers. They showing the things that the mainstream media wouldn't tell you that are going on right now, right? But right, so we finna get into it without further ado. The title of the article says, "Why do UFOs keep appearing near nuclear sites?" Right? And you see right here, they jump right into an image of a so-called UFO right here in the red circle, right? And I believe this is like an airplane radar image, maybe from a jet or something like that, right? That they captured. They said they seen the UFO, right? So getting into the article, it says, "Do they come in peace? The question has hung over the UFO mystery forever, but a new study comes closer to an answer than ever before. Since the United States detonated its first atomic bomb at the Trinity test site in 1945, dozens of accounts of UFOs have been logged by military witnesses and government scientists working with America's sensitive nuclear arsenal." Right? I want to come at this first question that they asked, that they topped the article off with. It says, "Do they come in peace?" Right? And the answer is no, they don't come in peace. Right? Let's go to the Bible real quick to show that. Right? Let's go to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah, the 19th chapter. Right? Let's go to the book of Isaiah, the 19th chapter, right? This is talking about the end times, right? When Yahushua comes with the chariots, right? With the angels and all the chariots, right? This is Isaiah 19:1. It says, "The burden of Egypt." And we know that America is likened unto Egypt, right? Egypt, Babylon, right? The daughter of Babylon. America is likened unto all of those because it carries the same spirit as these places, right? America is likened unto, when you go to Revelations, the 8th chapter. Revelations, the 11th chapter, verse 8. Let me go to that real quick. Right. Revelations 11 and 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified, right? So that's talking about America, right? This place is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, right? How is it Sodom? Right now it's the month of June, right? And they call this Pride Month, right? This is the Pride Month. You see in rainbows everywhere. You know, they got up north. I'm in Chicago area, up north in Chicago. They painted on all the sidewalks, you know, all the street crossings is rainbows, right? This place is spiritually Sodom, right? They say men can get married and women can get married to each other, right? And it says in Egypt, right? This place is also called Egypt because why? The Israelites were enslaved here, just like they were enslaved in ancient Egypt, right? This place carries that same vibration, carries that same spirit that ancient Sodom carried and that ancient Egypt carried, right? That's why on the back of your dollar bill, you go see a pyramid, right? You see a pyramid because why? This is ancient Egypt. They know that they have the Israelites enslaved here, right? This is common knowledge to the elites, right? But it says, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified, right? Going back to the other scripture, Isaiah 19, right? It's Isaiah 19 and verse 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, right? And this says the burden of Egypt, right? The burden. What is a burden? Something that's destructive to you, right? Something that's not good. A burden ain't good to you, right? If you're calling something your burden, that means it's causing you a hindrance, right? It's causing you some type of turmoil, right? It's causing you pain and anguish, right? That's what a burden does to you. And this is being described as the burden of Egypt. It says, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, right? It says the Lord is going to ride upon a swift cloud. What is that swift cloud? Let's talk about the chariots, man. Let's talk about the chariots. These things right here. These things right here. This right here, what's in this red circle, that's the chariot of the Lord, man, right? The so-called UFOs. The Lord is riding on one of those, right? They call it a mothership in the movies. And in movies, Hollywood, you might have seen Independence Day, right? Let me grab that. Let me grab a quick picture of it real quick. Right? Something like this right here. Right? Something like this right here. You know, you got the giant UFO entering in, and you see it's going straight toward America. That's spiritual right there, because that's actually what the UFOs are getting ready to do, man. Right, when they come to send the Lord's wrath and destruction upon the earth, right? Let me see if I can grab some more from Independence Day. When it went over the White House, right? Let's get it when it went over the White House. Right here, right? This is a huge mothership. Let's see if I can get it bigger. Right, this is a huge mothership going over the White House, and this was in the movie, but they say art imitates life, right? These people that made this movie, that everybody in Hollywood, they know the Bible, right? You got to know the Bible in order to be in Hollywood, because most of the movie scripts that they get are straight out of the Bible, right? But this is a mothership, or what we like to call it in the truth, a fathership, because the Lord is not a feminine spirit, right? He's not a mother, right? The Most High is a father, right? So we call this the fathership, right? In which Yahweh Shai, the son, is going to be riding on, and he's going to enter into the house of the thief, man. Right? He's going to enter into the house of the thief. Let's go to the book of Zechariah, the 5th chapter. Right? Salakia. These chariots, like I said, they could be mentioned as whirlwinds. They could be mentioned as a wheel within a wheel. They could be mentioned as the clouds. They could be mentioned as the chariots, right? And also right here, what you finna see, they finna be mentioned as a flying roll, right? A flying roll, right? This is what Zechariah saw in the 5th chapter, right? What he documented is Zechariah 5:1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll," right? A flying roll. Verse 2, it says, "And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits." So he described, how big it was, right? He said the length of it was 20 cubits and the breadth thereof 10 cubits, right? Because these UFOs, the chariots, they can materialize into different shapes and sizes, man. Right? When you see videos, we go look up some videos of them, right? They could combine to join into one, right? You might just see one bright light in the sky, and then all of a sudden 3 lights come out of that same bright light, right? They can materialize, they could form together, right, and join together, right? Because the spirit is within them to direct them, to make them do whatever they are needed to do, right? And we go read about that as well. That's in the book of Ezekiel, the 1st chapter, right? But verse 3, it says, then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth, right? So these UFOs, they're going to be used as a curse to go forth over the whole earth, man. You know why? Because the Lord's elect is scattered upon all the 4 corners of the earth, right? And so these UFOs, the clouds, the chariots, right? They're going to be sent all throughout the earth to, one, send gather up the Lord's elect, and 2, send destruction upon all the lands that the Lord has governed for destruction, man. Right? It says, "For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it." Verse 4, "I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief." What is the house of a thief? That's America. America is the biggest house of the thief upon the earth, man. Right? This is the house they stole the land from the Native American Indians. Right? They steal oil from all these other countries, right? They steal all the natural resources from Africa, from the Middle East, from South America. They stealing all of these, and they stole the people, right? They stole the Israelites from their dwelling place, right? In the 1400s all the way to the 1800s. They stole us, right? So this is the house of a thief. This is the house of the thief. This is America. Right? It says, "It shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name." This country does nothing but swear falsely by the Most High's name. Right? They make you stand up and say the pledge every day in school. They say, "God bless America." On the money, on your money, you pull out $1 or a $20 bill or whatever. It says on the money, "In God we trust." Even on the back of the coins, it's saying, "God we trust." But this place doesn't stand on the law of God. Right? They make you put your hand on the Bible in the courtroom and make you swear, right? Put your left hand on the Bible and put your right hand up, or whatever, if it's vice versa, right? And make you swear upon the Bible, right? When really their laws are not governed according to the Bible, right? They break every law of the Bible, but make you swear unto it. This place swears falsely by the name of God, right? It says, "And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof." Right? So the UFOs, they're going to consume, right, the house of the thief, right? They're going to consume America, right? And this form of transportation for the angels is going to be how Yahweh Shai makes his return unto the earth, man. Right? This is going to be how Yahweh Shai makes his return unto the earth. Let's grab that real quick. Let's go to the book of Acts. Acts chapter 1, right? This is the book of Acts, chapter 1, and verse, I'm going to start at, verse 6. It says, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Because that's what the kingdom is for. The kingdom is for the children of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Those of us that were scattered abroad out here in the Americas, right? And in the Caribbean islands, right? And over in the UK, wherever we scattered, we, like I said, we scattered, like the Bible says, we're scattered to the four winds of the heavens, man, right? To the four corners of the earth, right? But it said, they asked, our forefathers, they asked, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom again to Israel? Is it our turn to rule this planet again? Is what they asking, right? And Yahushua said this, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father have put in his own power. So Yahushua, he couldn't answer the question. He said, it's not for you to know. Y'all can't know the exact day or the hour. No man knoweth the day or the hour except for the Father, right? He said he put that into his own power. And that's a cut right there to the Trinity, because he said the Father put that in his own power. And he said his, not mine. A lot of people, they try to say that Jesus is the Most High. Well, why did he just refer to the Father in third person, right? If he is. Doesn't make sense. But verse 8, it says, but ye shall receive power. After that, the Holy Spirit is come upon you. And ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth. So he's saying, y'all go catch the Holy Spirit and y'all go do the work. Y'all go on the ministry. Y'all go on a tour for the ministry, right? Going all the way to the uttermost parts of the earth, right? Y'all go be in Rome, Italy, right? Thessalonica, right? Galatia, Cappadocia, all of these other places, man. Philadelphia, right? All these other places where the 7 churches were, right? Verse 9, it says, and when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up. What does it mean he was taken up? Meaning he got beamed up into a chariot, man. He got beamed up into a cloud, right? It said, and a cloud received him out of their sight, right? What does it mean when it says a cloud? Let's talk about a chariot. It said, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, right? Meaning 2 angels was right there by them. It said, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? So they stood looking up. They looking up at the cloud where Yahushua just got beamed up. It say, this same Yahushua, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So he said, just like Yahushua went up into the sky, he gonna return to the earth in that same way, right? He's gonna return on a chariot in that same way, right? Now going back up to verse 9, it said, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. What does it mean when it says cloud? Well, you got to go through the precepts to understand that, right? Let me grab this real quick. It's crazy over here. Got roosters and all that. Right, let's go to Psalms 119, 104. It says, through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore, I hate every false way, right? One of my favorite precepts. So you got to go through the precepts to get the proper understanding. What does it mean by cloud? Right, let's go to the book of Psalms. Let's stay in Psalms. And let's go to chapter 104. Right, this is Psalms 104 and verse 104 and verse, we can start at 1. It says, bless the Lord, or what it say right here in Lord, all caps, it will say Yahweh. Right, it says, bless Yahweh, O my soul. O Yahweh, my God, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, right? Who stretches out the heavens like a curtain. So this talk about the works of the Most High, right? It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, right? It said he layers the beams of his chambers in the waters. What does that talk about? Let's talk about the third heaven, right? Let's talk about past the firmament up where the dwelling place of the Most High is. And it says outside of the firmament is water, nothing but water, right? When you read in the book of Genesis, the first chapter, it said the Most High divided the waters above from the waters below, using what? The firmament, the dome, right? Contrary to popular belief, the earth, the Bible does allude to the earth being, I wouldn't say flat, but the earth is inside of a dome, right? Meaning a firmament. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. So he makes the clouds his chariot. What are the chariots? Those are the UFOs, right? You look up in the sky, you might think it's a cloud. Sometimes they come in the shape of clouds, right? They get referred to as clouds, right? Because you got to think about it with an ancient mindset, right? Our people, they looked up, the only thing floating in the sky is clouds, right? So they refer to them as clouds, man. With an ancient mindset, you got to think about the Bible with an ancient mindset, right? They would probably call this phone, they probably call my phone a rock with fire in it, or a glass of fire, right? Because why? It lights up, it has a light in it, right? So they probably call it a glass of fire, right? You got to think about it with an ancient mindset. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, right? So the Lord makes the clouds his chariot, right? That's talking about the UFOs, man. All right, let's go back to the article, though. So it says, do they come in peace? No, they don't come in peace, right? We read in the book of Zechariah and in the book of Isaiah 19, right, that the Lord is going to send those chariots to send destruction upon America, right? Let me grab one more. Matter of fact, can't forget the classic Isaiah 66. Can't forget the classic. What would I be if I forgot this? Right. This is Isaiah 66, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind." Right. So the Most High, he's going to come with his chariots like a whirlwind. They're going to be sending fire, zapping people with laser beams and all that. Only a mind can only imagine how the destruction is going to come, right? But we know that the Lord, through the precepts, is going to use his chariots to do a lot of the destruction, along with the nuclear missiles, right? It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind." Right? His chariots, they're going to come like a whirlwind. They're going to be beaming up the elect and causing destruction at the same time. It say to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Right? So the Lord is going to use the chariots to render his anger, right? To push his anger upon the earth, man. Right? To push that destruction upon the earth. Right? So no, the UFOs, they not coming in peace, man. When they do officially come, when they make themselves known for every eye to see, and which every eye will see them, like it says in Revelation 1:7, when they make themselves known for every eye to see, right? Hey, that's when you know that this place is no longer finna be here, man. Right? That's when you know that America is really done for. Because once you see those chariots, hey, it's time. It's time for Israel to go home. And it's time for America to get off the throne. Right? It says, I'm going to jump down. I read that part. So, no, they don't come in peace. It says, I'm going to jump down to right here. Skeptics have often turned to questioning the veracity and the memories of these military witnesses or blaming faulty equipment. Right? It says, but the connection between UFOs and nuclear sites has persisted in India, Russia, and elsewhere across the globe, leading many to wonder, are aliens stopping us from exterminating ourselves? And it's not aliens, right? These are the angels riding in these heavenly vehicles, man. Right? They talking about our angels stopping us from exterminating ourselves. No, it's the angels stopping you from our aliens stopping us from exterminating ourselves. No, it's the alien. No, it's the angels, right? It's the Most High. Because why? It's not time yet. It's not time for nuclear destruction to come upon the earth. The elect has to get sealed, right? Let's go to the book of Revelation. The elect has to get sealed. So when they think that they finna unlock a new level of nuclear 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 warfare, no, there is not the time yet for that, right? Because the Most High, He has everything on the timing. All right, let's go to the book of what was I about to go to? Salakia, the precept slipped my mind. Salakia. Lord willing, it comes back to me. Damn. Lord willing, it come back to me. It will though. It's another precept I could grab though. I'm really trying to think of the one that I was just thinking about. I'm gonna go back to the article. It says, but the connection between UFOs and nuclear sites has persisted in India, Russia, and elsewhere across the globe, leading many to wonder: are aliens stopping us from exterminating ourselves? Right? And no, they're not stopping you from exterminating because everything is on the Most High's timing. Right? Everything is. Oh, now I remember. Okay, all praise to the Most High. All right, let's go to the book of Revelation 7. I believe that's what I want. All praises that I remember, because it was gonna bug me until I remembered. Right. This is Revelation 7:1. It says, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. Right. And that wind is a destroying wind. Right. When it's talking about wind, sometimes it's talking about destruction, depending on the context. Right. Let me see if I can find this precept. I don't know where it's at on the top of my head. Here you go. Right. This is Jeremiah 51:1. It says, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Right. He's going to raise up against Babylon, who Babylon is also known as America. Right. This could be tied in with ancient Babylon and with modern day Babylon, which is America. Ancient Babylon would be the land of Iraq, right? But modern day Babylon is America, Babylon the Great. It says, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Right? It says he's going to send fanners, right? And against Slakia, verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigadine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts, right? So when it's talking about those bows, it's speaking about the nuclear missiles, right? Like it says in the book of Second Esdras, the 16th chapter, verse 13, I believe. It says, strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. And that's not talking about regular bows and arrows, because the key point in that verse, it says, his arrows he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. You can't shoot a bow and arrow into the end of the world, right? That's talking about the nuclear ICBM missiles, right? International Salakia, continental ballistic missiles, right? International continental ballistic missiles, right? That's what it's talking about when it's talking about those bows, right, and those arrows, right? So yeah, that wind is a destruction, right? So when we go back to Revelation chapter 7 and read verse 1 again, it says, and after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, right? So picture 4 angels every corner of the earth, holding back the destruction, right? These are what these angels are doing when they go to these nuclear sites and they defuse the missiles. Because there have been countless articles, countless claims of UFOs visiting visiting nuclear test sites and diffusing all of the testing technology, diffusing all of the technology that they can no longer do what they're doing, right? Because what? Those are the angels holding back the wind, right? They holding the wind back, right? Holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree until what? And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, right? Who is the living God? That's Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, right? The God of the Bible. It says, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads, right? So nuclear destruction can't come upon the earth and won't come upon the earth until the elect are sealed, right? Until the 144,000 and the peaceable multitude, the 1/3, right, are sealed with the seal of God in their minds, man. Meaning what? When they fully convert over into this truth, when they find out that they Israelites and fully convert over to living this life and keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments and believing in the Son Yahushua, right? Once that happens, once everybody that's supposed to be sealed gets sealed, then what? Those four winds are going to come upon the earth. Then what? They're going to unlock. They're going to unlock that nuclear warfare, and World War III is going to be coming to an end, right? Because it's going to end with the nuclear warfare, right? It's going to end with that. Let's go to the I was going to go to I was just at Revelation 7, right? So the elect has to get sealed first, right? Let's go back to the article. It says, but the connection between UFOs and nuclear sites has persisted in India, Russia, and elsewhere across the globe, leading many to wonder, are aliens stopping us from exterminating ourselves, right? And ultimately, it's all up to the Most High, right? It's all on His timing. It's all on His timing, right? When the electric gets sealed and when the nuclear blast will come upon the earth and all of that, it's all on His time, because the Most High, He gave them the wisdom to create these things, right? Let's go to Isaiah 54, and I believe I'm on verse 16. So like in Isaiah 54. Isaiah 56 and 14, it might be. Slakia. Let me go to Isaiah 56. All right, let me see if this one I want. Should be in this chapter. Let me see. It might be 54 or 55. So like it, bear with me. It was 54. I don't know what the hell my computer doing. But this Isaiah 54 and 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith, right? And what is a smith? A smith is a blacksmith, right? This is a person that makes weapons, right? It says that blow off the coals in the fire. So back then in the ancient world, they had these people called blacksmiths. It was an occupation, and where a person would sit, he'd take metals and he will melt them down and put them in, and he'll melt them down. Like that's what it's talking about with blowing the coals in the furnace. He's steady heating up that furnace to melt those metals, to melt that rock and that iron, right? In order to make make swords, make spears, the tips for arrows, right? He's making all this weaponry. That was his specialty, making weaponry, right? It says, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. Your modern day Smith is the scientist today, right? He's the one making these laser guns, right? He's the ones making this tactical gear that can withstand fire blast and all of these other things. He's the one created the nuclear missile. They got that movie Oppenheimer, right, where all these German scientists and these Edomites, they came together to create the nuclear bomb, and they testing it out, and they finally let it loose on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II, made the whole earth scared of America, right? That's what it's talking about in Isaiah the 14th chapter, right? But so the Most High, he said he created the smith. He created the person that was able to do this occupation, right? He created the blacksmith. He created the scientist in order to do that, in order to bring forth this instrument, to bring forth that waster to destroy. Because what does it do? It makes the earth, once those nuclear bombs blow up, it makes the earth into a wasteland, right? It makes it into a wasteland, right? So all this is governed by the Most High. He's doing this. So everything is on his timing. It's not on man's timing, right? On when they can unlock new heights in the nuclear warfare, right? Going back to the article though, it says now a new decades-long study has analyzed over 500 of the best supported UFO cases from the heights of the Cold War, and hauntingly concluded this intelligence understands atomics and they understand atomic weaponry. And we just broke that down, right? Because why? Because the Most High created those things. The Most High put it in the minds of these people to create the atomic bomb, to create atomic weaponry, right? So of course the angels know, right? Because they're on one accord with the Most High. It says UFO reports over America's nuclear arsenal appeared to shift from sites where the bombs were made to missile silos and U.S. air bases, and the Cold War arms race grew, right? That's one of the key findings from the new work, a series of 3 studies led by a retired U.S. Air Force Staff Sergeant Larry Hancock and the data analyst affiliate with Harvard's UFO hunting Galileo project, Ian Porritt, along with their research team. The group focused their analysis on official military and police reports of UFOs from 1945 to 1975, avoiding poorly supported accounts and ambiguous newspaper stories to focus on cases with multiple witnesses and signals evidence like radar. Let me see if it's more up in here. Right. That's pretty much it on the article. We got the main basis of it, but I'm going to continue to show how UFOs are in the Bible. Right. Even pull up a video. Let's go to YouTube. Right. And we're going to go to the book of Ezekiel. Right. Because you might be thinking like, I kind of see what he's saying, but I still don't see, how UFOs are in the Bible. Well, there's something right here that you can't deny. Right. This is Ezekiel 1. And let's go down to verse first we're gonna start off at the first verse, and then we go jump down. Right. It says, now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives. Right. So this is Ezekiel. He's captive in Babylon right now. Right. It says that the heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God. And in the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of King Jehoiakim's captivity, the word of Yahweh came especially unto Ezekiel the priest, the son of Buzi, in the land of the Chaldeans by the river Shabar, and the hand of the Lord was there upon him. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, right? And the fire enfolding in itself, and the brightness was about it. And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire, right? So he saw a whirlwind. He saw what? A chariot, man. It said it came out of the north, right? A great cloud, meaning a huge chariot, right? It said, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of four living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. So it's describing the angels, right? That Ezekiel had seen, right? It said they had four faces: the face of a man, the face of a lion, the face of an ox, and the face of an eagle, right? And it's going to go further into the description of the angels that he saw, the living creatures, right? But jumping down to verse 15, it says, now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, it says, now as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his four faces. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl. So pay attention to these wheels right here. What is saying these wheels? It says their color was like unto the color of a beryl. I believe that's the color green. It says, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel, right? So when you think of a wheel in the middle of a wheel, right, this is what you got to look at. Let me see. This is what you got to think about, right? It said the wheel of the middle of a wheel. All right, let me see if I can find a good picture. All right, this would be a decent one. Right, a wheel, right, meaning the outer edges in the middle of a wheel, right? See all these different circles? That's what it's talking about. A wheel in the middle of a wheel. All right, let's get another one. A wheel in the middle of a wheel, right? A circle within a circle is basically what it's saying, right? This is a good one, right? A wheel within the middle of a wheel, what they call a flying saucer, right? This is a good one right here. I like this one, right? A flying saucer, right? A wheel within the middle of a wheel, right? You got the top wheel, center wheel, right? A wheel within a wheel, right? It says, now as I beheld the living creatures, no, it's like I'm on verse 16. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and they four had one likeness, meaning they all looked at the same. And their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel, right? So I showed y'all the wheel in the middle of a wheel, right? Right there, right? And it's going to get more descriptive. It said, when they went upon their four sides and they turned not when they went, right? They turned not when they went, right? Meaning what? A UFO doesn't necessarily have a face. It goes whichever way it has to go. It could stop going this way, go back that way, go this way, go back that way. It doesn't have a face. It doesn't have a front to it, right? Because it's all around, right? That's when it's talk about on the four sides, right? When the Lord talks about put fringes on the four corners of your vesture, it means all around. He's not talking about you have four corners to your body, because we don't, right? He's talking about all around the fringes, right? But it says, verse 18, as for their rings, they were so high that they were dreadful, and their rings were full of eyes round about them four. Right. So they said they had rings full of eyes round about, right? And what are those eyes? Those are the lights. Like you see how these lights are, would be the eyes round about, right? This is the good one right here, right? Those would be the eyes, the rings, the eyes, right? All about, round about, right? It says, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them, right? It says, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up, right? So when the angels, whatever the angels thought for the wheels to do, they was able to control the chariot by mind control. This is how the chariots are able to stop on a dime and go back the other direction. Like cars can't do that. Man can create something. A jet can't even do that, right? When a jet makes a turn, a jet can't go one direction and then stop and then start going back the other direction on a dime like that. It can't do it, right? This has to be the work of the Most High, right? This is this is divine technology, right? The so-called white man, he can't create nothing that does that, right? When a jet has to turn around, it has to make that whole fat ass loop and curve and turn and all that, right? And it's a rough turn, right? But the chariots, they don't even have to turn. They just stop and start going back the other way, right? Because why? They're controlled by the minds of the angels, right? So whatever the angels think of it to do, that's what it does. It says, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them. And when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go, and the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels, meaning what? They controlled them with their mind. It said the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels, right? When the person has, like, this will be known as like telekinesis, right? When you got telekinesis, you can control something with your mind. It's like your spirit is doing it for you, right? So it said the spirit of the living creatures was within the wheel. Like I'll be able to move this laptop, to make it do whatever I wanted to do. Like my spirit was in it, right? That's what it's talking about. It says when those went, these went, and when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them. For the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels, right? Right. So that's it on that. I also want to go grab this, right? What was I about to grab? Oh yeah, Second Kings, right? Second Kings, can't forget Second Kings, right? The second chapter, speaking on Elijah the prophet, mighty prophet, right? The prophet Elijah was taken up into a chariot, the same way the children of Israel are going to be taken up into the chariots in the last days and the end times, right? Elijah was taken up that same way, right? Let's deal with it. It's the book of Second Kings, chapter 2, and verse I'm starting at 9. It says, and it came to pass when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. So Elisha said, I want to be like you, but double, right? He said, let a double portion of your spirit be upon me. I want to be the next man of the Lord, like how you was, right? I want to have that spirit upon me, but double. It said, verse 10, and he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. So he said, if you see me when I get taken up, you go receive that double portion of the spirit upon you. But if you don't see me, then you're not gonna have it. You're not gonna receive it. So verse 11, Salakia, it says, and it came to pass as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, right? A chariot of fire came out, right? A bright UFO, and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So when let's talk about horses, let's talk about chariots as well, right? That's one of the ones that I forgot. So you have chariots, clouds, rolls, horses, um, um, chariots, clouds, rolls, horses, and it's another one that I'm forgetting through the spirit. But oh yeah, whirlwinds, right? So it said, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. So the whirlwind is the beam, right? That's him getting beamed up, right? This right here, right? That's the whirlwind, him going up into the heaven, right? You see right here, right? That's the whirlwind, him going up into that, right? He got beamed up, as we would say, right? He got beamed up by whirlwind into the heavens, right? It say, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his old clothes and rent them in two pieces, right? And it say, and the horses, this part I want to touch on. It say, there appeared a chariot of fire and the horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. So the UFOs, they only go take up who they want to take up. You can't get caught in the beam and just all of a sudden get taken up, and you ain't supposed to be there. No, this only go take who they want to take, right? So they was both probably close together, walking right next to each other. And it said the UFO, the chariot, parted them asunder, right? So if you're not meant to go up, you're not going to go up, because why? It's only meant for the Lord's elect to go up, right? And Elisha, it wasn't his time at that moment. It wasn't his time to go up, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew. Because only the elect are going to be going on the chariots, man. Right? Not everybody. I mean, Matthew 24. It's like it. 29. Right. This is Matthew 24, and I'm gonna start at 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds, coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the earth to the other. Right? So he said the Son of Man is going to be seen coming in the clouds of heaven with great glory. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to come into the sky. He's going to come from the sky, because he is coming from the sky. But those aren't regular clouds that it's talking about. Those clouds are talking about the UFOs, the chariots, man. Right? The same context is in Revelation, the first chapter. Revelation chapter 1. And you may not understand it. It may not be for you to receive, right? Because I know brothers that don't believe in the UFOs. I know brothers that don't believe in, various other things, right? It's all of the spirit to allow you to receive these things and to see it, right? This Revelation 1 and 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. So it said he cometh with clouds, right? Just like we read in Isaiah the 19th chapter, right? The Lord is going to come with those clouds, man. Those are the chariots. It's saying every eye shall see him. Meaning what? These chariots are going to be all over the earth, man, right? Everybody on the earth can't see one cloud at the same time, right? Can't see one regular cloud, right? Doesn't mean these chariots are going to be all over upon the earth, right? You say every eye shall see him, right? So let's get into some videos, right? To show, like in Ezekiel, it said that the spirit of the living creature was inside of the chariot, right? Was inside of the wheel, right? So we're going to show how those chariots are able to move due to the mind control of the angels, right? Let's go to UFO. Let's see, shooting at UFO. Right. I believe this is the video right here. This may be the video. No, that's not it. That's not the video. Mm, see if I can find. It's a video where an army, I believe it was an Arab army, they were shooting at a UFO. Let me see. And it was kind of playing with them. No, not that. Lord willing, I can find it. Um, is this it? No, it's not. It's the same video. If I can't find it, then it's all good. Man, I used to have easy access to this footage. Man, I can't find it. Oh well, it's all good. Lord will not be able to find it another time. I might include it at the end of the video if I can find it. Let's see. UFO dodging bullets. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Right. Here it is. All praise to the Most High. You're trying to hit it. It's right there. and it's playing with them. It's playing with them. They can't even hit it. They can't even hit it. The UFO is playing with them, right? Let's watch it one more time. See, and it got up out of there, right? It got up out of there through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? So, right, and these UFOs, these are going to be how we get saved from this society. So I'm gonna end off with this one scripture, man. Right, let me end off with this one scripture. Um, in the Apocrypha. All right, let's go to the Book of Wisdom of Solomon. (1611). All right, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Right. It says, "Then shall that righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him." So when we in those FEMA camps, when we out on the run, when we getting beat down by the martial law and the military police, right? When we're facing the famine, right? When we facing all the major persecution that's prophesied for us to face, which is definitely going to come in these last days, what they call Jacob's trouble, right? Which is called Jacob's trouble in the book of Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, right? It says, "Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor." So we're going to stand up in great boldness when we see those chariots and Yahweh Shah crack the sky, because everything that we did, we realized that it wasn't, we know that it wasn't for nothing. And now it's going to finally happen, what we've been waiting on. It say, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation." So the people that's afflicting us, they're going to be looking with terrible fear because they don't know what the hell going on, right? And they say they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. It's going to be so strange. The UFOs coming and beaming us up into the air. They never imagined nothing like that happening. It say so far beyond all that they looked for. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, "This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach." Right? It say, hey, these people, this is the person that we had, that we was oppressing, right? That we was calling nigger, that we was calling spick, that we built the wall, that he can't even come into the land that he used to own, through his forefathers, that we stole from them. Right? This is them that we had in derision. Right? They're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. All we got to do is stay down till we come up, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Continue keeping the commandments and having faith in the Son, Yahweh Shah. Right? Keep the feast days, right? Keep the dietary law, keep the moral law, the civil law, keep the hygiene and the dressing law, man. Hey, like my shirt say, stay diligent, right? Endure and pray, man. Right? You got to stay diligent, endure and pray, right? So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, I'm finna go ahead and sign out. Lord willing, you was edified. Lord willing, you see through the spirit that the UFOs, what the world calls UFOs, are not only the chariots of God, but they are also the vehicles and the transportation in which we're going to receive our salvation in these last days, man, from this wicked captivity. So with that, I'm just give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh Bashem Shah. Say shalom.